What's up, hustlers? Today I'm going to give you an introduction to strings in Python. So a string is just basically a bunch of characters. So like, for example, if we set this variable called b equals, and then you open up either these brackets or these brackets, and whatever's inside that is considered a string. So you can have a whole bunch of characters, numbers, whatever it is you want. And you can do things like print it to the screen, right? So here we have our text editor and our terminal here. So let's run this file, python script.py, right? And then it prints out this string. So a couple things, you can't change the value inside the string. Like you can't say b of 0 equals something else. Because strings are what is called immutable. Like they're a type of variable that you can't change inside the variable, but you can replace the variable with whatever you want. So you could do things like c equals b dot replace. Let's replace F8 in there with somebody screaming. And then what we're going to do is print C. SAC132, blah, blah, right? So that's what strings are. And you can access like different elements of the string similarly to an array. So remember, arrays are, arrays of just a bunch of elements. So let's say you had this array, and to access the first element, you would do a of 0, right? But you can do the exact same thing here because strings are basically just arrays of characters. So if we wanted to get the very last character in the string, we would say, just like in an array, b of -1. So let's print that to the console. Right, that's 5. Okay. So that's the basics. Now let me show you some cool things you can do with strings. And these are things that end up being very useful, especially when you're doing things like looking for specific words inside sentences and stuff like that. So something you can do is, well, first let's make a better string than this. Let's say my string is, this is a sentence that will change. All right. So you can actually do things like my string dot uppercase, and this will make the whole thing uppercase. So let's print that to the screen so you can see how that works. There's Sublime Text begging me for money again. Whoops, is it uppercase or upper? Upper. Now this is a sentence that will change instead of this is a sentence that will change. So we can also lowercase everything. So I think that's lower. And now this is a sentence that will change. So you can do things like that. And the most useful part of strings is the one that I just showed you earlier, which is replace. So you can just straight up replace a part of the string with whatever it is that you want. So how about we replace, so first of all, we'll say my string dot replace the word this, replace that with bananas. Bananas is a sentence that will change. All right. I think that's pretty much all you really need in terms of strings. I guess one more thing that you should keep in mind is that if you add numbers inside the string, it's still a string. it's not going to be considered a number. So like if you were to say, let's say 1 plus 1, that's not going to work. Watch, it's going to throw an error. Yeah, cannot concatenate string and int objects. Okay, see you in the next lesson.